And welcome everyone to CWR TV. You hear the music? Yes, you're correct. CWR Mexican Invasion. There you see Nieve, who made his debut at the last CWR show. And following right behind him, his partner in crime, we've learned his name, none other than Corona Joe.
Corona Joe is a big fella. You can see him with that Mexican mustache and the sombrero. These guys are just fun all around. You see the piñata and La Nieve holding that Corona. Not getting a very nice welcome from the fans, though. They are CWR diehards. They do not like the Mexicans coming in here and invading. And here you go. We will have Corona Joe versus Ryan the Cool Guy Chambers, the coolest champ in town.
And to keep with the theme of the Mexican invasion of wrestlers in CWR here today, we have none other than a special Mexican guest referee to referee all our matches here on CWR TV for this very special episode.
And also to make them feel a little more at home, you see that cactus there. Someone that La Nieve calls Chi-Chi the cactus. There you see the cool guy. Very light-hearted. You have to think this may not be such a good idea for Chambers right now, scheduled in a match just a week before the Supercard Unhinged, where he will be participating in a ladder match against Chris Iron.
It'll be the first ever ladder match in CWR history, and it'll be for the CWR Championship. It's sure to not disappoint.
Chris Iron gets a little advantage, though. He is not scheduled to wrestle tonight, although at the end of the show, right after the main event, Woody the Clown versus Jason Zero, we will hear from Chris Iron. He said he had something to say at the end of the show, but Corona Joe just tossing the champ right to the ground and now capitalizing right in that corner there.
You know, Chris Iron's got to be loving this, and I can't wait to hear what he has to say here tonight to end our show heading into Unhinged.
But Ryan he's no slouch in that ring to get the CWR title. He went through two 300-plus pound guys before finally beating Chris Iron. He beat Jason Zero and also Big D.
And it still confuses me. Remember the last CWR Championship match, we had a rematch between Chris Iron and Chambers. Jason of the Fallen interfered on Chambers' behalf and helped Chambers retain the championship.
That's correct. After they almost cost him a match, or they beat him down after a match. Was that against Chris Iron? I believe it was. He beat down Big D and Chambers after he won the title.
Right now, Chambers taking it to Corona Joe now.
Oh, and a nice body splash into the corner. Crowd asking for one more, and he's more than happy to oblige. And a nice splash there to Corona Joe. An elbow to the back of the head, and Corona Joe flopping down to the mat.
You see La Nieve on the outside, disappointed. He wants to see Corona Joe walk away with a huge upset victory, I'd have to assume, over Ryan Chambers.
You'd think maybe that would allow the Mexican invasion to get a little headway here. And jumping over Corona, oh, and a call me leg drop. Nice leg drop there onto Corona Joe. But Corona back up to his feet and a nice running shoulder charge to Corona. There's a lot of padding there, but it still seems to take in its effect. No, maybe playing a little possum, grabbing the cool guy's foot. Oh, and a nice,
what a slam by Corona Joe.
Going for a cover. Oh, he got bad ring positioning. You have to wonder what the rules are down in Mexico, because clearly he was right in the ropes almost right off the bat from that pin. Probably should have dropped to the center of the ring. Going up for, oh, and a nice Manhattan drop onto the cool guy.
You know, you gotta wonder. I've heard a lot about him, you've heard a lot about him, but you gotta think there's not a lot of tape out there on this Corona Joe fella. Chambers really couldn't prepare himself at all, and Corona slamming the shoulder, throwing Chambers right into the steel turnbuckle post.
And that's a very good point, and he actually didn't even have much time to prepare for any sort of match, as it was just announced at the top of the show that he was going to be facing Corona Joe.
And you know, the thing is, Corona Joe...
Oh, a nice enziguri. Sorry to cut you off there.
As I was saying, Corona Joe has nothing to lose in this matchup. Chambers risking injury competing in a match here before he has to defend the CWR Championship.
Corona on the outside getting his breath there, but it looks like Chambers... There he goes! That high-risk maneuver from the cool guy. Oh, but knocking Nieve out. And that's something that I'm a little surprised to see. Chambers, after facing Ron Nieve at our last show, he shook his hand and told him that he had a good match. And I actually talked to him after the match, and he said that he respected what La Nieve did in the ring, took him to his limit.
But Chambers showing he means all business here tonight. Come unhinged. It's not about friendships. It's not about respect. It's about the CWR Championship.
Nice cross body off the top rope onto the big man Corona Joe, but Corona kicking out at a count of 2. La Nieve on the outside trying to get some blood going to Corona Joe, and it seems to have worked with some punches to the gut, and now he has that side lock. Jamming those thumbs and the fingers into the internal organs.
A huge pressure point maneuver there, just ripping at the side.
La Nieve grabbing those ropes, possibly trying to get a little bit of payback for Chambers punching him on the outside. Chambers finally gets to the ropes though, and Corona's forced to break the count.
Chambers getting all he can handle with Corona Joe in this matchup.
And a huge elbow to the back of the head of Chambers, sending him right down to the ground. Corona should do less taunting and more wrestling, but doesn't seem to have affected him too bad. Looks like he's going for some sort of suplex here. There he goes. Oh, but holding on, possibly going for that Three Amigos that you saw the late great Eddie Guerrero do.
And right now, Corona Joe is in complete control of this matchup. And finally, the third suplex, the third Amigo. Here, La Nieve counting on the outside.
That's what he's doing. 1, 2, only a 2 count. He's not the champion of CWR for nothing.
You gotta think, imagine if Corona Joe were able to pull off the upset and defeat the CWR champion. Not only does that kill Chambers' momentum heading into Unhinged, but you gotta think, that puts Corona Joe right at the top of the ladder for a future shot at the championship.
I have to agree with you there. If you can get a win over a champion once, it is possible to get one over another one. And I don't see why the DOA, Mr. Canton, wouldn't take notice in a nice flying knees from the cool guy. Oh, and there's another one onto the big man, but the big man draped in the corner. Ryan going to the well one more time. Oh, and it pays off.
La Nieve showing some concern on the outside of the ring, as he should be. The champ is gaining momentum.
Corona Joe is dead on his feet there, as you see, falls right down. Oh, and here you hear the cool guy yelling for the Sko Splash, that frog splash-like maneuver. Oh, and look at the height that he got on that. 1, 2, 3. It is over, ladies and gentlemen.
And just like the rest, the Sko Splash puts Corona Joe down to the 3 count.
And that gives the cool guy a little bit of momentum going into Unhinged, where he will face Chris Iron in a ladder match. Up next, we're going to see Big D versus another Mexican person who we do not have his name at the moment, but we'll hopefully get that up on CWRevolution.net once the show is posted.
Big D's in action next.